Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast. This is episode 87, Madness at Home. We're going to talk about everything that happened in a doble jornada for La Fiera, games versus Chivas and Santos. We'll have a lot to talk about regarding those two games and everything that happened. Also, we'll be previewing for our next upcoming matchup this weekend against America. So we'll have a special guest for the Eagle Eye podcast kind of helping us preview. Also, in conjunction after our podcast, the Eagle Eye podcast will be going live on their show. So you will see me and Louie jump on their podcast. If you want to hear more, you can definitely stick around after, and we'll link their pod after our show ends. Thank you for everybody watching us via Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Let us know what your thoughts are. Comment in the comments. We'll put your comments on the screen. Interact with us. We love the conversation. Louis, how are you feeling tonight on a Monday Night Football?
Pretty good. Exciting week of activity for the club, for sure. Just an absolutely stellar trip to Guadalajara midweek for the first leg of the doble jornada. Just an amazing experience. And to come out of there with that scoreline obviously felt great. And then a hard-fought, perhaps in some ways, the best match León has played, in some respects, I would say, all season against Santos at home. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come out of there with the win, but still trending in the right direction, I would say. And as long as the team is trending in the right direction, I'm feeling pretty good about things going forward. So, the unbeaten run continues, and we are enjoying it. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
So, talk to us a little bit about how your trip was to Estadio Akron midweek.
Well, I'm obviously no stranger to that stadium, but León has played there at least twice without fans since the last time I was able to attend a match there. So to be able to get back there after quite some time, I guess it was, the last time I was there was one of the very last jornadas played in the Clausura 2020 before the lockdown, and we obviously came out of there in that instance with a loss. It had been a few years since I'd seen a win. I guess, the very last jornada of the Clausura 2018 when both teams were eliminated from Liguilla consideration. So it had a very, very different feel to it than this one did. León has only won in that stadium 3 times. I've seen all 3 of them. The Clausura 2016, Clausura 2018, and now the Grita Mexico Apertura 21. Chivas is not a good home team traditionally. They have not played well, especially in recent years at that stadium. They seem to play better as a visiting team, strangely enough. But they've frequently had our number there. As much as we like to bully them for their struggles, they've had León's number playing at home at Estadio Akron. So it was nice to go in there and just show a different side of what results in that stadium can be for our club, and to come out of there with a really scandalous scoreline of 3-0 was quite amazing. It was great. It was just that second half was magical, and to be surrounded by the Fuera Buse chants there at the end. I don't really think it's Buse's fault, but to be surrounded by that was there was maybe only about 10,000 fans in attendance, but those chants got pretty loud.
I'm pretty sure Vado will argue against that, and he is in our comments. Vado from Chivas del Norte that jumped on last week to help us preview said, y'all should have scored 5 on Wednesday, so Buse would get fired. SMH, taking my head.
Well, I mean, if 3 wasn't enough, I don't know if 5 would have been. But yeah, it was just it's always such a fun trip to make, just because my strong dislike for Chivas, and so to come out of there, to go there and see us win in that way, was great. But also, I mean, it's a nice stadium to go to, one of the newer venues in Liga MX. I think Chivas has better away fans than home fans. I think I mentioned this before, but their home fans are not particularly great. I never got to see a Chivas game when they still played in the Jalisco. But my understanding is they've basically taken the team away from the strongest center of its Guadalajara fan base, and they've priced it out of a lot of the people out of the price range of the people who used to go to the games in Guadalajara. So nowadays, the people who go to those games are the people who can afford to go, not necessarily the people who are most passionate about the club in their own city. So it's always kind of a strange vibe. Even when there's no pandemic, the stadium is never full. Most of the tickets are sold, but the people just don't go. So it's always kind of a strange vibe for Chivas home matches. But it's a great place to watch a game. One of the nicer, newer venues in Liga MX. Always happy to watch a game there, in spite of my dislike for the team that plays there. And great to see the third win by León in Estadio Akron in the history of that stadium, and in scandalous fashion, as I said. Just a great trip. Just a great trip.
His victory dance, so.
Yeah, a great trip and a great night. And and if I do say so myself, it was one of the more enthusiastic and better victory dances of the ones that I've done. Maybe the best, maybe the one I was most enthusiastic about since the very first one, which was at Azteca. Another scandalous 3-0 away victory back in the midst of those 12 wins, and also another it was a jornada 6, I believe. Yeah, so around the same point in the tournament. Yeah, but definitely the most enthusiastic one since then.
We're going to welcome Carlos and Javi. Gentlemen, how are we feeling after a victory versus Chivas and very weird draw against Santos, put it that way?
Not bad. It's been a good week. Nobody was injured. We got 4 out of 6 points. I'd call it a good week.
Yeah, I agree. I feel with Chivas, it was more than I could have imagined. I thought it was going to be a 2-0. It was 3-0.
You guys were close. Colombato really ruined 3 of y'all's scoreboards.
I know. We were so
We forgave him, though. We forgave him.
We forgive him. Yeah. Heck yeah, we do. I was so happy I was wrong. But the game against Santos, I just felt that Santos didn't deserve a win. So the tie to me seems fair. I think León also didn't do enough. They were playing well, though, for sure. I like. They're making a lot of mistakes, but I think what Carlos said is true. I think it was a good week because no one got lesionado, and it's 4 out of 6.
Definitely better doble jornadas than in the past. With that being said, Carlos, are you ready to give us both kind of lineups for both matches and any type of news that we kind of missed in the midst of all that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Pre-game news against Chivas obviously was Ramiro Gonzalez being out indefinitely. We don't know when he's going to be back after blowing his hamstring that rainy night. And then Gigliotti, his father passing away. That was breaking news that week as well. The lineup was Cota, Mosquera, Barreiro, Tecillo, Osby, Colombato, Jefecito, Meneses, Fernandez, Davila, and Mena. All of which I think played well. You guys were going over the Chivas recap right now. I think everybody played well except, I don't know, I think Meneses was kind of missing most of the first half. But it was a great game. I think Chivas had the upper hand in the first half, but second half it was a totally different story. León came out, dominated, and that goal by Elias, what a beautiful goal. I mean, just the way he easily just tucks it away. And then Colombato just to add insult to injury.
That's the way to put it.
a perfect pass from Mena to Elias on that goal as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Showing his assisting capabilities as well as his scoring punch. Obviously, he didn't score in that game, but when he's not scoring, he can still do other things. So it was nice to see that from him. That was probably my favorite goal of the three. Although Colombato's, I mean, it's hard to.
I like Colombato too, but that contragolpe, it makes you feel like this is going to be a good León, like a well-balanced team, a team that also te puede aguantar. And then, I mean, I thought that contragolpe was perfect. You know, like
yeah. Well, the Colombato goal was so pretty, but it was also just, I mean, to come right before the final whistle blows, basically. I mean, if that had gone over the bar or whatever, that would have been the final whistle for sure. And so it was just kind of like the gut punch to the Chivas faithful. So that was what I liked about that one. But I liked the goal. I liked Elias's goal better. I think it was just everything about it was perfect.
Yeah. Great. It was a great start to the doble jornada, and for the second of the doble jornada, we had sort of a similar lineup. We had Cota, Avion, Mosquera, Tecillo, Osvi in the back line, Jefecito, Colombato, Omar Fernandez, Angel Mena, Elias Hernandez, and Davila once again. No surprises there, right? I mean, you took out Meneses, who wasn't really, like I said, he didn't really show up in the first of the doble jornada, and you put in Elias, who I think was okay. I mean, he had a good chance to put one in, but kind of went off the wrong side of its foot.
I think if you think about it, how especially this season, Meneses has not really been feeling himself 100%. With Elias, to me, it's like maybe Elias just came at a perfect time. Like, would Meneses still be at, kind of feeling this way? I mean, I guess talking about what we talked about a couple podcasts ago about him wanting to lead, that he was saying no. I think Elias just came at the perfect time. Anybody can say.
Yeah, no matter what's going on in Meneses' head, it's nice to have that variante.
Definitely.
But I will say that in the last couple of days, I've seen Meneses. I don't know. He seems pretty bought into the club for me. It was based on his social media posts. Felicidades al club for their 77th anniversary. Worth mentioning that he, along with Mena, Mosquera, and Tecillo, and Jefecito, were all honored before the game with commemorative Charlie jerseys for completing their 100th match as members of the club. And all of them, including Meneses, seemed very honored and appreciative of that. So I think, I don't know, I haven't seen anything to think that he's not bought in. I think he's not necessarily on top form, but I don't think it's because of an emotional detachment to the club. I just think he's not particularly on great form right now. I think that can change and evolve as the season goes along, but it's nice to have Elias there. Even though I don't consider him a nominal left winger, it's still kind of strange to see him playing on the left.
Yeah.
But he's been a little bit hit or miss with it, but much more hit than miss as of late, the last few matches. So it's nice to have that option.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Two more pregame news points that I want to hit you guys with. Obviously, the All-Star game that's happening this week, Angel Mena and William Tecillo are going to be there. Really hope they don't play. I mean,
yeah, me too.
as bad as that sounds, like
me too.
I really hope they don't play.
Disclaimer though, I'm going full in for the Liga Meki side since León has players representing.
Proud of you, man.
Well,
I thought you were going to be the other side, Louis.
Well, doesn't have, right?
The Timbers don't have a single representative on the MLS squad, so there's not much point in rooting for the MLS side. I'll go for Liga Mekis, which at one point had 4 León players registered, and worth mentioning also that Montes and Navarro, while they will not be on the active roster, did travel to LA to receive their Balones de Oro for the last season. So they're part of the festivities, even if they're not going to play in the game, obviously due to injury, but they're there. And so there's lots of León representation around that squad. I also hope that the active players in the squad, Tecillo and Mena, do not see even a single minute, especially because both of them are going to be needing to report to their national teams shortly thereafter. And it's just going to be a ton of strain on their legs that they don't need. So I hope they don't play, but it's nice that they're part of the activities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I thought I was like the only person that was thinking like that. I was like, and that's the last thing we need right now. But yeah, especially not to see you.
Yeah,
They
we
do
can't
get a
afford to
cool
lose.
jersey though.
Those jerseys are nice.
I like them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking one up. I don't know. We'll see.
You should.
Maybe.
You should. So you can show it on
Yeah.
camera. I want to see it.
And I'll definitely get the estampado with either Mena or Tecillo. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, maybe Tecillo because he's been, for me, the unquestioned MVP of the season so far. Made every Liga MX once ideal except for this past week.
Literally just wrote that, bro. You took that out. I was gonna talk about this.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I'm stealing your material.
No, but we talked about the CEO. I remember when we went to Querétaro, we were just like in awe of what he was doing in Querétaro, and he's evolving and evolving still. Like,
but that was only match day 3. We've played a few more, and he just hasn't. I mean, this is his best season, and he's had a lot of great seasons already, but I think this is his best one as a León player so far.
Someone who should have been in El Once Ideal should have been Andres Mosquera for his performance.
He played good against Santos.
He cleared a goal right on the goal line.
That could have gone wrong. I'm not saying it's funny or anything because I have my struggles with.
He could have been out the goal, Kari. I know what you're saying.
He can come in clutch, and then it's like if it would have gone wrong, it would have hit another part of his body, and it would have, you know what I mean?
And it only would have happened to him.
It would have been out the goal. Yes. Yeah, because he's Mosquera, right?
Yes.
Well, it could have also. Might also happen to Barreiro, but Barreiro was obviously suspended for this match. So,
which is my second point. Barreiro was suspended for one game for going off on a red card that didn't even exist. I mean, it wasn't even a red card.
No.
Weird to see that we didn't appeal it, but it's probably not worth the time or the money. But hopefully he'll be back for the next match day, and then we can maybe give the CEO a rest day or something. But
it's nice that we have backline options, though. I mean, I figured the backline would be what it was, with both Barreiro and Ramiro unavailable, and I think they played pretty well. I thought it was pretty solid, and I think it's been pretty solid no matter. Well, now that they're figuring things out, it's been pretty solid no matter who's suited up. So
yeah,
I mean, I thought it was shaky for first few minutes against Chivas, but then after the first 25 minutes or so, they really settled down and looked good. And yeah, that red card was kind of, I don't know. I think maybe they should have appealed it, but
yeah,
Ayuditas.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
Ayuditas.
Yeah, although they haven't been helping out. The arbitraje hasn't really been helping out Chivas like we're used to this season. I'll give them that. They've actually been a little bit perjudicado, like I felt we were against Santos. But that's neither here nor there.
I know, Louis. We were there, and I think the whole stadium felt the same way. Like, and I don't think it was just us because we're in the stadium, but there was that one call against the CEO where no la marcó, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be the whole game, and I shouldn't have said that because that was exactly what happened.
No, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it had to be frustrating whether you're in the stadium or watching on TV, whatever. But being there in the stadium, how tightly that match was called, everything was a foul.
Everything.
Just playing with the ups and downs, the emotions of everybody watching in the stands. It was not a particularly pleasant game to watch. In spite, as I said, perhaps the best overall all-around game that León has played all season to this point. It's a shame that they couldn't get the full result out of that performance. But it's also a relief that, and perhaps not justicia divina, but justicia deportiva, poetic justice somehow.
Divina, though.
Justicia deportiva. They played far too well to not come out of there with at least a result. So the fact that they ultimately got one in the last second, I think was.
But Louis, after seeing that, do you think it was a bit of a harsh penalty, like objectively looking at it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, and I was definitely thinking when he went to the VAR, rarely do they go to the VAR to come back and mark the same thing they called on the field. Usually if they go to VAR, it's to overturn something or to mark something that wasn't previously called, not to reinforce the call they already made. So for him to go check it for just 1 second, come back out and remark the PK, especially having been calling such a tight game and mostly favoring Santos the entire night, and especially with our fans giving him the business the entire night. Understandable if he kind of wanted to be like, well, nuts to you guys. I'm not giving you that PK, because you've been ragging on me the whole night, and I'm only human. But no, I know. I just called it justicia deportiva for what I just said. They played far too well to not come out of there with at least a point.
Yeah.
So they got that, and it always feels a little bit more like a win when you are trailing and come back to draw. If it's the same result no matter what. Suppose we'd been winning and gave up the draw at the very end, it's the same result, but the sabor is very different.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know, Carlos, you had a hot take. Are we still presenting that hot take?
Damn, I forgot my hot take. Oh, I know my hot take. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do a hot take.
Hot take. Hot take. Sorry, I didn't see the video. Quick, bro. Hot take. So, it was interesting on that penalty right before Mena kicked it. You can see Acevedo kind of just flailing his arms around, and then he grabs his left arm as if like he sort of tweaked it, and he kind of just like leaves it hanging, and that's the place where the penalty is kicked to, and he kind of just looks over, still with his arm hanging. So I'm thinking maybe he didn't attempt to block the penalty. Maybe he just kind of stood there because he tweaked his arm and his arm was injured. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know Louis had any.
Is there an official report that he's injured?
Have we seen anything? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Have we seen anything since then to indicate?
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen.
My opinion is that he's very theatrical. My opinion, he's very theatrical. Yeah, because even when he was like porteando se tiraba, and it was like, he was doing what he's supposed to do as a goalie.
But I think every goalie has their own with
him,
but
some of them are theatrical, some of them are dramatic, and they make you think. But I'm saying, if there's a report, then I'm totally wrong. But if not, then maybe
What if it was something minor, like just in the moment,
Yeah, that could be. That could be.
I mean, it was also perfectly taken PK. I mean, as we are accustomed to seeing from Mena, there was no way, no matter where or how he jumped, he was going to be able to save that. And I mean, maybe maybe a split second was all he needed to realize that. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of an injury until I see a full report. Although, as what you're saying, Javier, about his theatrics, he took a good minute or two after the final whistle sounded to just kind of kneel, dejected, in front of his goal, and it could be something more than just having given up the result last minute. Maybe knowing that he tweaked something and might have to miss some time. It's possible, because it could just be him being dramatic as he likes to do, but it could be something more. Because he took his time. He took his time, just kind of looking crestfallen there in the box in front of his goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I did see it more like Mena was like, the way he took that penalty, it was like I'm gonna make it, and the other guy was more like, man, they just called a penalty in the last minute. I felt more like that energy, like it was more like, I think it could be what you're saying too, Carlos, but I just felt Mena had that determination to make that penalty, and I don't think nothing was gonna stop him, even if he was at 100, because I just felt the whole energy of the stadium kind of manifested that penalty. It was like we were so mad that we were.
It was crazy. I could just imagine you and Louis in the stadium, feeling that.
Well, I was gonna tell you guys, I noticed this, and I don't want to go back into my history, but one of the things that I've noticed is I've become very impulsive, and I know that has to do with any kind of injury in the head. They say the long-term injuries can be like being impulsive. So I remember just looking at El Avendarado, and I was literally thinking, who's gonna stop me? I can jump inside the La Cancha. Who's gonna? I pull these guys. I can do it. I really was thinking I was so mad, and then I'm like, wait, hold on, Javier, calm down. What's going on?
Yeah, good thing you didn't do that.
No, I wasn't gonna do it. I'm just saying that lately I've been having these impulsive thoughts, Who's gonna stop me? Because really, I didn't like it was the abanderado. I didn't like that guy with his shorts up to like, you know what I mean? Like he was like, I didn't like him. I just looked at him and I was like, man, I like this guy.
Is it the one who called the guy who called the hand?
And who repeated the penalty and everything.
Uh,
And who didn't call the falta on Tecillo and instead said saque de meta for Santos. Yeah, I don't like that
I'm
guy.
glad you didn't do that. If you
I
feel
wasn't gonna do anything.
some type of impulsive, just call us to not talk you out of it.
Please. Me and Louis, that's we gotta watch games together, bro.
Yeah.
You talk me out of these things.
It was it was definitely up there among the last second goals I've seen live in El Glorioso. I mean, I think the Piri Borbano's back heel to beat America when there were 2 balls on the pitch. I think that one still takes the cake in terms of regular season games. That one still takes the cake because it was against America and it gave us the win. This was a PK and it just gave us the draw and it was only Santos. But still, among the last second goals that I've seen, it's definitely top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Top 3.
And,
what are the other 2?
Well, the Piri Borbano is number 1, and I think maybe Mosquera away to Monterrey to get the 2-2 draw.
Borbiso against Cruz Azul.
Yeah, I wasn't there though. I had a
commitment.
I had a commitment and I could not go to that match.
But that one was epic, bro.
That one was. If I had been there to see that one in person, that one might be number 1.
Yeah,
but
the Borbiso one. I love you, Borbiso. I love that guy so much, man.
I was hoping to hear Fidel Ambris last season.
Except the fact that what happened after that, I can't count that one.
Okay.
So you can't count that one.
Okay.
Well, it's on the list, but it's not top 3.
It's not up there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josue Espinosa, always commenting in the chat. He is talking about Carlos's hot take. He said, I did notice that, but this is just my theory. When a player is in any sport, feels he will not be able to perform or feels defeated, they have a body language to excuse the play. Example, football player will limp after a tackle. He's talking in regards to futbol americano, behind the scrimmage line, but will walk off the same tackle if it is near the touchdown line.
I mean, there was definitely some body language there. I don't know
what I'm saying.
For sure what it meant, but it was there.
Like I was looking at Mena. He had the body language. Ain't nothing gonna stop me right now. La Afición needs this goal. He had it. Even the way he took it, it was like very violent way. And also his gesture down, accentuating the the nether regions to say that that the team is not lacking in that area, shall we say? And it was caught on camera. It was caught on camera afterwards. That's what I saw more of that. But again, maybe he did get like a minor injury. Those kind of injuries that like when te tiras and it hurts, your arm hurts for like 20 minutes and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not really But at the same time, I just felt it was more like the body language of someone that Mena was like, no matter what, I'm gonna make this PK. And el portero como, man, they just called a PK in the last second. Como like ya derrotado. In my opinion.
This was like a liguilla game.
Yeah.
I was hearing people talking about this game that it was one of the best games of the season. But I didn't like the game because I was suffering.
It's always a good match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just glad
I was suffering.
It was at times again a tough one to watch, just a frustrating one to watch.
Yeah.
But at other times it was a really, really great game, especially Leon played their best first half of the season for sure. They didn't have anything to show for it in terms of the scoreline, but they played just a really great first half. They took control from the opening whistle and really were the better team, had the better chances. I mean, even before that PK, those two Chilenas and the one that clanged off the post. I mean, they had so many great chances that just didn't go in. Could have been a very different scoreline, but it doesn't change how they played. And it was just a gutty result and a gutty performance. I mean, you don't like to think of draws at home as a positive result, but I think this is one of those instances where it was. And morale-wise, emotional-wise, this is something they can still build from.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, there you
But-
go, Louis. That's the attitude.
Yeah, I
You
will
both
say
can.
though, for me, it does show that we're not the project is not finished. The process is not complete. There is still much improvement to be made.
Yeah.
I wasn't too impressed with the way they reacted for the minutes following giving up the PK and Santos celebrating as though they had earned anything, which they really hadn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
They
given
celebrated
something.
towards your area. I can imagine you were very mad. Like
I
they were
was
like,
I was I
right
was
in front of you.
very I was none too pleased with the way they celebrated after that gift of a PK, as though they had earned something or had been playing in any way, shape, or form better, or had been in any way, shape, or form the better team in the match to that point. And I think like our reaction right after that was not. They let it get to them a little bit. I feel like in lo anímico,
like
and
the Colombato yellow card. You know, like you could see
absolutely.
he was. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the biggest moment. You know, he was kind of saying like, "Well, you're not calling it's the same foul that you made over there, but you're giving me a yellow card." And that's why your section went crazy when that happened.
Yeah,
That was right in front of you too. Yeah,
Like-
the whole stadium saw how you guys went crazy.
just keeping a cool head when things aren't going right,
Do
despite
you not see the people,
despite being the better-
players
the-
we have? Like,
I
I
know,
like
but
Colombato.
so that's
Calombato being canchero. I like that. You know,
so
like,
that's an area where they can improve. Like
yeah.
you're right.
getting scored on first when you've been the better team up until that point that's football. That's a tale as old as time in football. It's how you react to that that counts.
Human
And
reaction.
I think that's an area where they could still improve. So we're on cloud 9 for these results we've been getting, and the way ever since that embarrassment in Jornada 1, everything that's happened after that, we've been just on cloud 9 celebrating and just seeing the improvement and where they're getting to and where they can possibly go. But this was a nice little reminder that they're not quite there yet. They can still improve in some areas.
But I mean, Santos are no joke. They're a really good team. In my opinion, they're probably one of the top 3 contenders to win the title this year.
They have a lot of good youngsters that they've been pushing through.
I don't know. I'm not as high on them as you are, Carlos.
I
And
saw
they
them,
haven't been.
With Chivas, I didn't think they played. I think Chivas, in a way, I saw a lot of errors. That's why I was kind of confident against Santos. I just feel Santos studied Leon very well. That's
They
kind
know
of
how
how
to play us.
Yeah, that's really what happened. But other than that, I think Leon. I think they're gonna do good against America.
I mean,
I think this had to happen. You know,
Look,
it was a
man.
good thing que regresaron como regresaron. You know.
we played our best game of the season this season against Santos. And if you
Yeah.
take a look at last season, we also played our best game of the season last season against
You
Santos.
1-2-1.
And it was on their home field. And I hope that we get to play them next month.
In the playoff.
Oh, in the
Leagues Cup.
League's Cup final, yeah.
That's going to be a hell of a game if we can go.
Santos is in the League Cup.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was Tigres.
That could be the final. That could be the final. But
You want Sounders?
I don't want Sounders. I'd love to see the Sounders
Yes, you do.
lose. Whether it's any time. I don't want to ever see
Louis,
them win
just
ever.
manifest it. Imagine
But
Leon Sounders at
I do
Allegiant
think-
Stadium in Vegas,
I-
and then we'll go
I-
party, bro.
I
We'll go party
do
real
think
crazy.
at Lumen Field in Seattle, I think the Sounders will win that matchup. We can talk more about that when we get when the time
Definitely.
comes. Yeah.
We're kind of on a time crunch. Quick, I just want to give a shout out to Carlos Justis from Telemundo. Give us a shout out during the match. If you guys want to follow his broadcast in English for Chivas, do so on the Telemundo app. Always producing the content in English for Chivas, and we thank him for giving us a shout out in regards to the content that we try and put in, as well as Chivas del Norte in English during that matchup. Now we're going to go ahead and head in, as we do have our guests waiting for the Eagle Eye podcast to quickly preview matchup versus Americas. We always enjoy these matchups. One of my dearest friends, Ivan. So we're going to go and add him to the stream.
Well, hello there. Hello.
Hello.
How's everyone?
Hey,
Doing
hello.
well,
Thanks for
man.
joining.
We're doing good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Ivan, talk to us about how you're feeling facing Leon? I mean, is it something that you kind of fear? Are you excited?
No,
What are we feeling?
we never fear anyone. Um, I am genuinely excited though. I think this is gonna be the first real test that Solari side's gonna have this season, as far as facing a title contender opponent. And the narrative this whole week is definitely going to be that it's a 6 point game, right? It's first versus
Yeah.
second, so it should be an interesting one. I'm excited to see how we fare against you guys, especially on the road. It's never an easy, an easy thing for us to go to the Camp Nou and go out there and try to get all 3 points. But we've seen it under Solari. Things have been a little bit different than different managers in the past, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this side is capable of doing. It won't be the most flashiest of Americas, but it will be a very much well organized and hopefully um, well orchestrated side that shows up in Leon.
Mm.
Definitely. How are we feeling about America's performance from first jornada until now?
I mean, uh, it's definitely you take it game by game. We haven't seen the best of this side just yet, and I don't think we'll see it roughly for another maybe 2-3 weeks. Uh, you have to take into consideration, right, the four players that were out because of the Olympics, and then due to some injuries here and there, everything going on in and around the transfer rumor mill going on in Coapa, who's leaving, who's staying, why can't the board get their plans accordingly, and we still have players on salaries that shouldn't even be with the team anymore. But as of right now, things have been looking a little bit more promising. We still haven't seen the best of America, but you've seen a lot of tight results. These 1-0s, 2-1s that really, as an America fan, you're liking the fact that you're getting the 3 points. But of course, with this institution, with this club, there's always that there's always that kind of burden on you that you have to go and you have to play. Tienes que golear, all that good stuff.
Definitely.
That's true.
Guys, do you have any questions for Ivan so far?
Yes, the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
Should
I
we
would
talk
imagine.
about it? Should
Yeah,
we
I
talk
mean,
about it?
it's eventually gonna have to come out, right? We'll address it a little bit on
Fine,
our
guys.
podcast as
We
well.
all know que León es más grande. That's the elephant in the room. Say that already.
That is
Oh, what are we talking about?
No, the
You want to
elephant in
talk
the
about it?
room
We'll
is
talk
the
about it.
how do you feel about Renato Ibarra and his return to America, to the pitch and scoring this weekend?
you know, it's a tricky situation. I mean, you've seen it all on Twitter, right? It's a debate that's kind of dividing a lot of people in the community, not just in the Americanismo, but in the Liga MX English community as well. I'm just gonna go with what the podcast has always stood for. We are solely and always just going to talk about what happens on the pitch. You know what goes on
Good.
in and around the football pitch. Everything that goes outside, we're not gonna get sucked into the politics of everything. you know, Me and the boys, we all have our own opinion, and we can all say that to whoever we feel comfortable saying to. But as far as us coming on here, going on the microphone and kind of having that public figure face, we're just gonna stand by what the podcast is, and that is we're just gonna continuously just talk about the game, talk about the results, talk about what happens on the pitch. If he happens to be on the pitch and he scores, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how that happened, and everyone's entitled to their to
Their opinions.
feel how to their opinion, exactly how you mentioned it. And so we're all to the same consensus that we do not condone or support anything that he was accused of, and then we're going to stand by that always, and we're going to just continuously do what we do, and that is just talk the football, talk about what happens on
Yeah.
the pitch,
Yeah.
talk about the soccer. Everything else that is extra outside of the pitch, that is out of our control, and so therefore we're not gonna try to handle it. But it is something that I think it can get lost in translation a little bit, whether you try to defend one side or the other, and it can get to a bit of an extreme. I mean, we've seen it this past weekend, and
Yeah.
so I think we just kind of we're leaving it aside. We're trying to leave the politics to the side to other, because we're not, I at least I feel that we're not capable of handling something like this. We're not
Yeah.
experts in situations like this. So why talk about something that you may not even exactly
It's not
know?
what you signed up for.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and yeah, no, of course. And so we're just gonna focus on what happens on the pitch. He scored, which is great for the team overall, right? We need the goals. We need that confidence boost, uh, and we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I don't think it's our fault or any Americanista's fault that the
Yeah.
board couldn't do their job right to bring in a foreigner. So now we have to rely on people that were already on our salary. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just kind of where we stand with things, and not trying to get too much to the nitty gritty of it because again, everything gets lost in translation nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
they're gonna try to, edit something and make it seem like I agree. It's one of those things where I was like, it is what it is. I just feel like the whole thing to me is political. I think it's because it's America. You know
It
what I
is.
mean? It's mainly well, it is because look, Faitelson, I didn't like what he said because that's hypocritical. It's just because he wants to do something where it's against America, and that's really where it's coming from. Because if he really did believe in that, he wouldn't be homies with Dr. Garcia. He wouldn't be homies with other people that have been accused of the same thing. So look, I've been accused of being anti-Americanista all my life, but yo reconozco when it's going too far, when it's just like everything is politics, cualquier cosa. But there's two sides of the story. Yes, no one condones violence ever, but
Never.
I
Yeah.
think Solari did what he was supposed to do as a coach. Basically, he specifically only focused on I need esta posición, I need to bring this person. No one, the directiva can't bring me another one, so I'm going to bring what I already have. There's nothing else to look at in between. It's not like they're trying to make it seem like America now stands for that. That's what
Exactly.
they were trying to make it seem. So look, it's something that anybody que no que ve las cosas objetivamente can get to the same conclusion. But when you have your agendas, and that's why there's problems. My opinion.
I agree.
So I've talked to us a little bit about what players do you think Leon should watch out for? Which players are like a major threat?
Colombaby.
I mean, straight off the bat, you probably have to say Salvador Reyes, right? I mean, the kid's come in, been phenomenal. Depending whether or not he's going to play on that left mid spot or if he's going to be that left back, either way, you can expect him to be in and around the penalty box. For some reason, always seems to be landing in that position. Got himself already 2 goals, and he's looking, pretty much like the signing of the season for America so far. Other players that maybe potentially put in a shift. I mean, we've seen Cordoba do what he did in the Olympics, right? Hasn't really shined in an America jersey just yet, especially now wearing that number 10. But I expect a lot of big things from him, and hopefully against Leon he can do it again. And Roger Martinez, right? The man that everyone kind of looks at to be the hero for this season, wearing that number 9 jersey, kind of having the weight on his shoulder. He's looking for a little bit more, and hopefully he can
He's
deliver
been
on
looking.
Saturday. Yeah,
I mean,
and that's the
like
thing with him.
looking out, and I'm always like, "Oh, Roger's still here. Oh, Roger's still here. He hasn't left yet."
Yeah, no, he hasn't left. No one wants to pay, and he doesn't want to get any salary cut. So.
Yeah, no one wants to buy.
Guys, what Fieras are we thinking are a major threat to America?
William Tecillo.
And Tecillo. Roberto
William
Carlos Tecillo and Colombaby. Yeah.
William Tecillo is in the conversation for me for MVP of the league so far. Obviously, he's been playing mostly as a left center back. Occasionally, as a left back. But no matter where you're looking, he's getting involved, and he's in the right place in the right time in the attack as well. He had that cheapo against Chivas that fell to him. When he has the ball in front of him, he can put it away. But he's also just a clinical tackler, a clinical recuperador, and he's having his best season out of, as we were saying before, possibly his best season out of already many good seasons with the club. So he's my number one.
Carlos, I know you may have maybe thinking someone different than Colomba.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Omar Fernandez.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He's been an absolute beast for us this season, and yeah, I mean, anytime he has the ball at his feet, he's either creating, holding the ball, making sure he finds the open man. He's always creating opportunities for goal, always giving the right pass. So I would definitely watch out for him.
But he's itching to get on the score sheet in league play.
Exactly.
And what better opponent to do so against than America? He had that brace in the League's Cup, but that's not I mean, he wants to get open his account in Liga MX Play. So I agree with you there on that one, Carlos.
Definitely. Guys, let's go ahead and go into prediction time. Are we ready for our predictions? Anybody listening to us via Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, let us know your thoughts on prediction time in this weekend's matchup versus America. So we're going to go ahead and roll the clip. And yes, we do have an updated Louis prediction time video.
Prediction time!
Yeah.
Time. Let's go ahead and start off with Javi.
I knew it. I already sniffed. Okay. Yeah. Clearly, when I was still trying to analyze it. No, I think I'm gonna take my sobrino to the game. My sobrino Max le va a la América. He's the only one in the whole family que le va a la América. But I gotta take him because I love those kids. Their father took me to the Estadio de León for the first time. So we already bet. So I gotta say 3-1 because we already bet against him.
3-1. Okay. Louis, your prediction.
I'll go with the same 2-0 that I predicted against Chivas. I think we were lacking a little bit of that contundencia that we had against Chivas and prior against Santos. I think they're going to recover that. They're always motivated to play against America, especially here at home. And yeah, I think they're gonna shut them out. I think they're gonna get 2-0. They've been looking great on both sides of the ball. Didn't get the result they wanted against Santos, but played their best match. Every match has been a bit of incremental growth. Also, they're going to really want to get the full 3 at home. Second consecutive match at home. They didn't get the full 3 against Santos. They're not going to waste another opportunity playing in their second consecutive game at home to get the full 3. So I think it's going to be a 2-0.
2-0, Louis, conservative. Shout out to Luis from Tigres English. He said 0-0.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love that.
We're not Pumas, bro. We're not boring.
I mean, Pumas was probably the most exciting game this weekend, apart from ours. Everything was
for the first time in a year.
Yeah.
Like,
Josue said 3-1. Leon, Carlos.
I feel like we have a lot of biased fan base.
I'm gonna have to agree with Louis here. I'm gonna go with the 2-0, just because I think this past game could have ended in a clean sheet if it weren't for Davila not knowing how to keep his hands down in the box. But other than that, like, Santos didn't really score on us. They didn't even really come close. I mean, well, yeah, they came close in the second half, but we kept a clean sheet against them besides that penalty, and we've kept a clean sheet for the last 3-4 games. I can't remember. So defensively, we're doing pretty good. And I think we'll keep it up against America, especially with the return of Barreiro coming back and William Pestillo playing like an MVP. Yeah,
Barreiro's mustache is going to win for us.
Yeah, on both sides of the field, we look good. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-0 for them at home.
Also 2-0.
Hmm.
Ivan, what are you thinking? You going to flip it on us?
Yeah, I feel like I'm against the ropes on this one. You know,
Tell us how you really feel.
it's gonna be an interesting game, but I don't expect a lot of goals to be, let in by either team. To be honest, yeah, I mean, defensively speaking, right now we hold the title of the best defense with only 2 goals conceded, and we'll see how that pans out against you guys. But at the same time, we're not scoring that many goals either, so it's not like we can go out there and flaunt and taunt and say that we're gonna go out there and score abundance of goals either. So I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. I think that you guys will get your goal, we'll get our goal, and then I think both teams will kind of call it even. Take the point. Obviously, I think there's a little bit more pressure on your guys' end to walk away with all 3 points. Not to say that America doesn't have pressure to win, because we always do, but I feel like with the stretch of games that we've had these past couple of 2 weeks, right? CONCACAF Champions, Liga MX, doble jornada. Some of our players now going to the MLS All-Star game as well. So there's a lot of minutes played for these players. So yeah. I think a 1-1 draw would not be anything too bad, and then get some rest. well, for some of these players, although they will have a friendly in Dallas against Guadalajara, so not like they're gonna have that much of a break. But I think that these players definitely can get the job done, and a 1-1 result wouldn't be the end of the world for America either. So I'm going with the draw.
Okay. Ivan said 1-1 draw. I'm going with the 2-1 Leon win. I think maybe we will be 1-1 at one point near the end, and then Leon scores a banger at the end. So just top it
No,
off.
Kari,
Maybe
we have to
Colon
win.
Baby. Maybe Colon Baby will do it again.
We have to win by 2 goals in order to overtake first place.
Okay,
So,
let me
yeah.
go with the 3-1. Let me go with the 3-1.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kari. I'll just go with me. Like it's like
3-1.
Louis and Carlos, but más goles.
You know who likes that draw? Luis from Tigres English, because he knows that if we draw, they can move into, I think,
Yeah, they
second
can move
place.
in.
Yeah.
They can move into second place.
Okay.
Third right now.
Ambitious Scotty wants to say 3-1, so
Yeah.
we're gonna go 3-1.
Yeah.
Just for that one reason, a one goal win, we can't take first place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right before
Who's
we
Tigres playing? Like if they're gonna
Let-
win anyway.
right before we let
Atlas.
Ivan go to his podcast,
Vamos,
Ivan, talk to us a little bit about, and I'm going to show it up on the screen, what is happening on Wednesday for the Liga MX community.
Oh yeah, this is really cool. So obviously Wednesday is a big game for the MLS and Liga MX All Star, right? They're going at it. But beforehand, anyone in the LA vicinity can definitely join many of your Liga MX English community fellow people out there and play a little bit of some soccer with us. You know, we're gonna have a pickup game, 10 o'clock in the morning. You guys can see it right there. It's gonna be at VS Street in Pasadena. So come on by. You guys, there's an RSVP link out on Twitter. Not necessarily needed. You guys can also show up. We'll be more than glad to have you guys come and play. And again, game is at 10 o'clock in the morning. So if anyone in the area is able to come play, it'd be more than greatly appreciated. You guys are going to see a lot of familiar faces from the community there and a couple of MLS people as well. So we'll see how that goes. We're really excited. We're really happy. I want to give a huge shout out to my to my counterpart, to my twin, Ivan Hernandez, Cari, someone you know very well as well. He has helped me tremendously to help set up all of this, get this going. And so, yeah, if you guys are in town or for whatever reason you guys can make it, please come on by, play some soccer. Should be fun.
Carlos, you
Well,
gotta
Carlos, I hope you show up and
go.
represent.
Yeah. You and Jose gotta represent. You better go take Jose.
I didn't
pick
take
up
the day
Jose.
off. I didn't take the day off, and
Take
I
your
didn't wanna-
lunch.
I didn't want to channel my inner Luis Montes.
No, you gotta do it now.
You know,
Hey, we know it's a tricky one because it's Wednesday and it's early, and you know there's always going to be hard. But I know there's been people DMing us saying that they're going to be missing work just for this. So we're excited. We're excited, and look, hopefully this is the start of something new that we can continuously do throughout the years.
Like a tradition,
right?
every year.
And
next
then
time.
hopefully next time, whether it's here, whether it's Texas, New York, wherever it is the case may be that we end up being at, hopefully it goes off as a hit as much as we expect this one to be.
Yeah.
That's a very dope idea, man.
Set
I was like really thinking about that. That's
set up
dope.
a game between podcasts.
Yeah, we can always do that as well. That
would be fun. Ivan, want to thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go because you do have your own podcast to jump on, and me and Louie will be joining you in the next half hour to, now we go jump onto your podcast.
Now you guys get attacked a little bit by us. No, hey,
Good
but
thing
thank you
I'm
so
not
much for
going.
having me, guys. Thank you for everything. You guys again always doing an amazing job. We love it, and
Likewise,
see
bro.
you guys in a bit.
Likewise.
Awesome. Thank you,
bro.
Ivan.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
See you soon, man.
So if you want to catch me and Louie, we would be jumping on their podcast soon. Like he says, now it's their time to kind of put us in the hot seat. But yeah, guys,
Strength in numbers. They can't bully us as easily if we're 2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys gotta watch each other's back and finish each other's sentences if you guys can't think of.
Anything else before we take off? No? We feeling okay after this doble jornada?
Feeling good, yeah, man. I feel confident against America.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the way it ended, it was like anímicamente, It was like, all right, you got that draw. You know what I mean? I feel like it would have been worse if la afición se hubiera ido enojada, because it was already happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like against America, it's going to be a like Ivan said, un partido de 6 puntos. It really is going to be like a very and he's right. All I've been hearing about ESPN and Fútbol Picante is that this is America's first very big what's the word not problem but big opponent, I guess. Un equipo que le va a complicar. And I think Leon's already played with some teams that I think have brought, like Santos, for instance, the best out of them. So I like that. I like that Leon is coming after playing Santos, and they're coming after playing Tijuana. Tijuana, we already know. So,
Tijuana, who was arguably the better team for most of that match.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. So hopefully,
until they went a man down and America saved it at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
In other news, PT left Querétaro, so we'll see who takes over Querétaro. A very hard goal.
Tomás Boy. Always Tomás Boy.
No.
Who's the next coach to get fired?
Oh, Cesar. Yeah, that's a good question.
I kind of want to say Buse, but
Lilini, maybe.
Lilini might be on the string.
They just won.
Yeah, but they keep losing, you know what I mean? But
Siboldi can't win.
Siboldi, yeah. He can't win.
Yeah,
Siboldi has no talent though, and they were still almost the better. They were still the better team.
But neither does Querétaro.
Siboldi's next. He's next. Yeah, good one.
Shout out to Josue. He said I got free tickets for the All-Star Game Challenge, so I can go to the community match. He did say represent as well at the America podcast. Fútbol Picante is on our side rooting for us, especially this one. LOL.
That's a fact.
That's funny.
That's it. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and take off. Don't miss the America matchup this weekend, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, 8 Pacific. For some reason,
7 Pacific?
7
it's
Pacific.
9.
I messed up with Pacific time. If you can't catch the game for any reason, if you can sneak into your phone, go ahead and follow Club Leon EN, keeping you updated with all the live action during the matchup. If you miss a goal, you will definitely see how the goal was made. Hopefully it'll be a happy Saturday. One question, Louis, are you making the trip?
To where?
It's at home.
Oh, it's at home.
It's at home. Yeah.
Hey,
Yes,
I feel like it's like so many games at home though.
2 in a row.
It is strange. It is strange to have games in back-to-back weekends at home, especially without a doble jornada in between.
Yeah.
The doble jornada was the week before, so it is a little strange. But no, yes, it is.
But I think in September,
yes, I will be
get those
making
games.
the short trip to Leon to the match. Yes.
Mine's even shorter. I live literally in el centro. I can walk.
Awesome.
But yeah, I think it's because in September we're gonna have those away game against Tigres, then the Leagues Cup game, and I think September's gonna have a couple of away games.
Well, it's an odd number of fixtures, so occasionally you're gonna have to at any point in the season you're gonna have either 2 straight on the road or 2 straight at home, depending on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're lucky at Santos and America.
I will be making the trip later in the season against Cruz Azul away to the Azteca. So, that I will be doing.
The Tigres one, are you planning to make that one?
I am. I have my Viva Aerobus tickets booked, and I've spoken with my contact there, who always gets me in with his extra bono. So yes, I'm planning on going to the Tigres match too. Probably not. I'm still holding out hope of somehow getting to Houston for the Leagues Cup semifinal, but that's looking pretty unlikely at this point, just to all the stuff I have going on here, and it'd be a lot of jetting back and forth.
We have
that other league match in between the semifinal and the final at home here in Leon, so it'd just be a lot of jetting around. I am going to Las Vegas regardless of that semifinal result, though, because if I waited until we knew for sure if we were in it, which I have every expectation that we will be, but if I waited until we knew for sure, it would be way harder to plan the trip. So yeah, I'm gonna be in Las Vegas. Everything? Yeah, man.
Piero Viajero, bro. Piero Viajero. Like literally, like he has 2022 booked. He's got World Cup. He's gonna go to Qatar. He's gonna go to every single thing in the.
We're making a family trip out of it. So I mean, if I'm gonna be somewhere for 3 days when the team isn't actually there. There are worse places than Vegas. This is not Torreon we're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. Or Toluca, you said. You said Toluca
Or
and Torreon.
Toluca. This is not Torreon or Toluca.
Puerto
It's
Real.
Vegas, baby. It's
Yeah.
Vegas, baby.
And the launches.
Come on, we all know Leon's gonna make it. Come on, man. I have to see Leon ser campeón.
It would be an unmitigated disaster if they didn't.
Yeah.
I
Let's
would
not
never
go
ever
there.
say
Let's
that.
just wait it out.
Never
Okay,
go
guys.
to any game.
We're gonna go ahead and take off. Take care. Let us know anything, questions. Follow us on all social medias, and we'll catch you on another episode of the Lions Den Podcast.